The story of Damar Hamlin is one that is so motivating. He has fought through the toughest of challenges and managed to take a negative situation and make something positive out of it. He continues to be an inspiration to the youth from his hometown of McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. Damar has made an impact so far in his 26 years of life, and hopefully he can continue to be an even bigger impact in the future. This is the story of Damar Hamlin. Without further ado, let's do this. Damar Hamlin was born on March 24th, 1998 in McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. Damar grew up around a lot of violence, as he has even stated that he estimates that more than half of the kids he grew up with are now dead. However, Damar always kept his focus on sports, as he was always focused on a bigger goal. His mom owned a cleaning business. One day in 2010, a 12-year-old Damar attended his father's court hearing, and the hearing did not go as expected. His father got 10 years in prison. Damar even stated that his father being taken away took his imagination away from him. Damar used football as his escape during the time his father was away, and his father was released after serving 3.5 years of that 10-year sentence. Damar attended Central Catholic High School in Pittsburgh, where he played cornerback and wide receiver. In his senior year at Central Catholic, he had 2 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and 83 total tackles. Damar gained offers from Ohio State, Penn State, and the school he would eventually commit to, Pittsburgh, staying close to home. The reason why he chose Pittsburgh was because of his brother, Damar Hamlin. Damar said that he had a lot of images of what he shouldn't be growing up, and he wanted to give his brother a positive image growing up. So that's why he chose Pittsburgh over a lot of other schools for his brother, Damar. Damar dealt with some early adversity when he arrived at Pittsburgh in 2016, as he dealt with an injury, only playing in 3 games, recording 8 total tackles and receiving a red shirt. In 2017, he played in 9 games, recording 41 total tackles and 1 interception. Unfortunately, before the 2018 season, Damar lost one of his closest friends. On June 18, 2018, Damar's close friend and Pittsburgh rapper Jimmy Wapo was shot and killed in Pittsburgh. Jimmy Wapo was a determined rapper from Pittsburgh who wanted to have a long-lasting impact on the city, and Hamlin stated that he was a source of hope for the kids of Pittsburgh. Damar was at Pitt taking summer classes and was sleeping before class when he heard loud sirens and woke up. He then went to class, where he received the news that Jimmy Wapo was shot. He then went to UPMC Presbyterian Hospital, where he received the news that Jimmy Wapo had died at only 21 years old. The loss hit Damar hard, and he even stated that it was a life-changing experience for him. In 2018, he played in all 14 games, recording 90 total tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble recovery. In 2019, he played in 12 games, recording 84 total tackles and 1 interception. In 2020, the season was kind of held back due to the pandemic, but he did what he could, playing in 10 games, recording 67 total tackles and 1 interception. During his time in college, he founded the Chasing M's Foundation, and every year they do a toy drive for kids around Christmas time and do other philanthropic works. And I gotta say, major shout out to Damar for doing that, because without him doing that toy drive, a lot of those kids would have went without gifts for Christmas. So shout out to Damar for that. Damar Hamlin then declared for the 2021 NFL Draft. He was then drafted in the 6th round, 212th overall, to the Buffalo Bills. Damar played in 14 games in 2021, but started none of them, only recording 2 tackles. Then, in 2022, injuries threw Damar into the starting position, and he played in 15 games, starting 13 of them, recording 91 tackles and 1 fumble recovery. Unfortunately, on January 2nd, 2023, Damar's life was in jeopardy, and everyone in the sports world, including all those rowdy Bengals and Bills fans in Paycor Stadium, all rallied around Damar. Here's why. So, it's Monday Night Football. Bengals vs. Bills, Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. In the first quarter, Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins catches a pass from Joe Burrow, and he's running down the field, and Damar catches up to him and tackles him. Damar then gets up from the ground, and then he collapses. Damar had gone into cardiac arrest and was clinically dead at one point. The Bills' training staff were quick and efficient, and his heart was reinstated on the field. The Bills' training staff were later praised as their quickness and efficiency saved Damar's life. The stadium had fallen silent. Damar was then transported to the University of Cincinnati Hospital. Meanwhile, the players both on the Bills and the Bengals were devastated by what happened. Both teams made the decision not to play the rest of the game. The game was eventually canceled. The NFL and its community rallied around Damar. Every stadium flashed blue and red lights. They made Love for Damar t-shirts, and his Chasing M's Foundation toy drive, which had a GoFundMe goal of just $2,500, reached over $6 million in 2 days. At the time I'm writing this, it is at $9.1 million. Damar remained in the hospital. However, 3 days after this incident, his teammate Khair Elam said that Damar was awake and doing well. The first thing Damar said to the doctor after he woke up was, "Did we win?" The doctor then replied, "Yes, Damar, you won. You won the game of life." Damar was then released from the hospital in Cincinnati to go to a hospital in Buffalo. The Bills played against the Patriots the next week after this happened, and the whole stadium was paying tribute to Damar. On the first play of the game, Nyheim Hines ran the opening kickoff all the way for a touchdown. The stadium's energy was out of this world. Everyone knew that was for Damar. Damar eventually was able to attend the Bills' playoff game against the Bengals on January 22nd, 2023. Unfortunately, the Bills lost, but Damar's impact was felt throughout the game. Damar went through the recovery process. All the while, he was invited to the Super Bowl with the Bills training staff, the White House, and presented the Bills training staff with the Pat Tillman Award at the ESPYs. Damar was then cleared to play for the 2023 season. He only played in 5 games last season, only recording 2 tackles. Despite that, Damar is already a champion in a lot of other people's eyes, including mine. Damar is an inspiration to me and many others, and he has a lot to be proud of. That's going to be all for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and have a great day.